invited. Mr. Johnson passed that motion 2 months ago. The report has been issued. Canadians have questions. And
it's a busy day in Parliament today on Monday after a week they had off. And basically there's the vote, the opioid vote, question period.
Taking of the deferred recorded division on the amendment to the, excuse me, I'm trying to read something here. Do you mind? Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted you directly. It being, I'll start over, it being 3...
So the Bloc is also on the Beijing file, or basically they want an inquiry. The NDP also have something different, MP Kwan.
We should not let the Prime Minister get away without a public inquiry. Because not to have a public inquiry means that there will be no inquiry on threats to elected officials, no inquiry about the Trudeau Foundation, or on the intimidation suffered by the Chinese diaspora, or about the 11 candidates that were supported by Beijing. This masquerade is just protecting the Prime Minister. When will there finally be a public, independent public inquiry? The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, once again, I would encourage the leader of the Bloc Québécois to accept the government's offer to bring the Bloc Québécois up to date on all of the sensitive and
take the brief.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
I refuse to be silenced, Mr. Speaker. Unlike other members of the government, the tradition in this place is that opposition members can pose questions to any member of the government. So my question is to the Leader of the NDP. He has said that he wants a public inquiry. Well, now's the time for him to prove it. Yep. Will the member for leading the NDP state clearly now that either the government calls a public inquiry or he breaks off his coalition?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we've watched as a party that once recognized David Johnson as one of the most outstanding.
I'm going to interrupt and ask that the Honourable Minister start over. It just got noisy all of a sudden. I'm not sure exactly what happened, and so I'll ask everyone to take a deep breath.
The NDP MB Kwan, she has a different issue, a concerning issue she brings up in question period, but the rest of it was basically about the inquiry. Check this out.
We'll continue to work with the provinces because that is an area of shared jurisdiction.
I wrote an urgent letter to the Ministers of Public Safety and Immigration about 700 Punjabi international students who are victims of a targeted exploitation scheme. A consultant used fake university admission letters for their student visa without their knowledge. As a result, 150 students are scheduled to be deported. This is unacceptable. The Minister of Immigration says victims of fraud should not be punished. We need more than words. Will this government immediately stay the deportation orders for these students and provide them with a pathway to permanent status?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, let me be very clear. Our focus is on identifying culprits, not penalizing victims. Victims of fraud will have an opportunity to demonstrate their situation and present evidence to support their case. We recognize the immense contribution of international students that brings to our country, and Mr. Speaker, we will continue supporting them.
The Prime Minister wasn't in question period today. He was busy attending other meetings and everything. And then there's the opioid vote, and Pierre Poilievre brought up. Check this out.
The 10-minute period for members voting electronically has started, and the House will now proceed to the vote for members participating in person.
All those in favour of the amendment will please rise.
Mr. Poilievre. Mr. Bazan. Mr. Kimmich.
Mr. Kimmich.
Mr. Deltel.
Mr. Deltel.
Mrs. Stubbs.
Mrs. Stubbs.
Mr. Motts.
Mr. Motts.
Ms. Landsman.
Ms. Landsman.
Mr. Hallan.
Mr. Hallam.
Okay, here's the amendment vote, and both votes went the same. And here's the answer to both the amendment and the full opposition motion.
Yeas pour 115, 115. Nays contre 207, 207.
I declare the amendment defeated. I'm going to let. Thank you, sir.
Merci.
La prochaine mise aux voix porte sur la motion
The
principale.
next question is on the motion.